So, are we recording then? I don't know how to tell. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us today. And my name is Kayleen Bagley, and I am a doTERRA representative, and I'm also a Joy coach with Joy Coaching America. And I currently live in Arizona. I used to live in Utah, and we're really excited to welcome Nikki Topham and a lot of her friends and guests tonight. We're so happy you guys are here with us, taking time out of your busy schedules to come and learn something new, and this is really exciting. So we're just happy to have you all here, and you are in for an amazing treat tonight. I get to introduce our guest speaker. Her name is Karen Grant, and she also is from Utah, but she's currently here visiting in Arizona, so we get to spend some time with her tonight. And Karen is a licensed massage therapist. She has been learning about and using essential oils for over 15 years, 20 years, a very long time, so she has a lot of knowledge about essential oils. And she's also a singer and a songwriter. And it's amazing because throughout her life, she has gone through a lot of amazing experiences and difficult experiences, which I know we all have, that have led her to create this method that we're going to talk about tonight, which is called the Healer's Touch Method. And it is a way of combining all 5 of your physical senses to help with relaxation, stress relief, helping alleviate and transition grief and pain back into joy, peace, happiness, and love, and just being able to work through those difficult situations that we all go through in our life. And I know for myself, this method has actually made a really big impact in my life. I've been using essential oils for about 5 years now, and have gotten a lot of amazing results using them for physical reasons as well as emotional reasons. And when I found Karen and I learned about this method starting last year, I was like, okay, this is the missing piece. Like, this is what I've been trying to accomplish as far as emotional healing and emotional relief. And as I have used this method on myself, on my family, on my loved ones, as well as on clients, because I am now trained in this method, I have had some amazing, wonderful experiences with this. And I know that Nikki has as well when I got to spend some time with her, so we might have her share a little bit later on. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to Karen Grant so she can continue with this topic tonight. And we're excited to be able to learn more about the emotional aromatherapy kit from doTERRA, as well as how to use that in conjunction with the Healer's Touch method. So here we go with Karen Grant.
Thank you, Kayleen, and thank you, Nikki. This is really fun. I want to scoot over so Kayleen can be in the picture. You can enjoy seeing her at the same time. I want to welcome you all. And Nikki, can you let us know, tell us the names of the people that are with you in your home. And I see Kim, she's in her home in West Jordan, and Chris is on her iPhone. And let's see if there's anybody else that I can see. We've got Julie McClaws, who is at home in Arizona. And then we've got Susanna, who's in Australia. And so Susanna, it's like 8 a.m. in the morning, so she got on the call and said good morning. And so we're just happy to have you all here. But Nikki, can you unmute, or I can unmute you, and you can share with us who's there with you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I have Linda Griffith. Linda, say hi.
Hi.
Hi, Linda.
Mindy.
Hi.
Angela.
Hi.
Candace.
Hi.
Hello,
And
Candace.
Kaylee.
Hello. Here.
Hello. Haley, okay. Well, we're so happy that you're there. Are you seeing us very big at all, or are we about that big?
Yeah, you're little. We see the joyful mind.
Okay, so when you tell people that you met us, you can tell them that you've known us since we were that big.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. We've known you since you were that big too, because you're all pretty teeny over there. But we're just so happy you're all on the call. And I want this to just be such a happy, joyful experience for you, because we're going to be talking about raising the vibration to joy with your doTERRA business in your own homes and families. If there was a college degree out there for mending broken hearts, would any of you, by the raise of hands or by a yes, unmute yourself, would any of you be interested in a college degree that was all about raising the vibration to joy in people's homes and in people's families, mending broken hearts with essential oils and music? Would any of you be interested in taking that course if it was offered at a college level and you could get a degree in that and start a business around it? Kim would, Kayleen would, Karen would. Anybody else? Do we see some little hands over there at Nikki's house? Well, years ago, this is what I prayed. I wish that I could tell you that I had the fairy tale childhood with the happily ever after dream, but that wasn't so for me. And I'm grateful now that I experienced heartbreak, because I believe that God allowed me to go through that experience so that I could create this method. The long and the short of it is, I didn't want anybody else to suffer through grief without being acknowledged, without being assured that life could get better, without feeling like no matter what you've been through, life can become joyful again. And so before doTERRA ever arrived on the map, I was creating a process with God's help called the Healer's Touch Song and Scent Method. And this method, I took my very dearest best friends, Laura Jacobs, Natalie Goddard, and they were all coming to sessions along with other people that you might know that are leaders in doTERRA today. And these women absolutely loved the Healer's Touch, and they still love it today. They loved the lullabies and took the lullabies home to their children, and they were diffusing oils and playing lullabies for their children and coming in and having sessions and going home and giving sessions to their husbands and their children before doTERRA ever existed. And so when they heard about this new oil company, they were excited and they joined it, and I joined with them. And so I want you to know that this has been tried, true, and tested material. And if you ever meet Laura or Natalie in the flesh, you can say, how did you feel about your sessions with the Healer's Touch method? And they will give you beautiful raving reviews, because this is one of the most peaceful, tranquil, precious experiences that I believe a human being can have. And I believe that when you add your oils, and so tonight we're going to be talking about the emotional aromatherapy kit for those of you who have joined. And if you have not joined doTERRA yet, this is an excellent choice, or the choice of the emotional aromatherapy kit that comes in the rectangle box, and it's 5 milliliters. And Kim, do you have it near you? I don't know. I saw you reach for something. I was thinking maybe Kim's got it and she can show it. But anyway, the emotional aromatherapy kit, this one is the diluted bottles of the oils. And tonight, you're going to learn some really sweet information on how to do a session for a best friend, for your husband, for a sister. But one of the things you'll need to do the Healer's Touch method is your emotional aromatherapy kit, either in the 10 milliliter with the they're not neat. When I say neat, I mean that it's just plain concentrated oil. These are actually diluted with fractionated coconut oil. Or the other kit that's the 5 milliliter bottles, but it's concentrated. It's called neat when it's pure oil. So whether you join doTERRA or you are in doTERRA, I hope that you will just feel so inspired to go get that kit. Either one, the 10 milliliter or the 5 milliliter. One is 150 PV, the other one's 100 PV. And tonight we're going to talk about why do we use all 5 senses and what can happen when you do one of these sessions, simply as a rest and relaxation session. So early on in my career as a massage therapist, Nikki's a massage therapist too. Early on in my career as a massage therapist, I found that probably my greatest gift and sensitivity and intuition was coming for those who had experienced heartache and sorrow in their lives. So in 2001, when I graduated from massage school, I began writing songs for those people who were coming to me to get massages. I could not find the music that I wanted that would uplift their heart, help them to connect to their divine creator. And so I thought, I need to write this music. So I began writing music again after a little bit of not writing music, began writing music and wrote 18 songs. And the first 9 were called The Healer's Touch. And the second 9 I put on a CD calling it Divine Essence. And The Healer's Touch began to be tender, loving, nurturing songs that you could use in this song and scent method to combine oils and music with the sense of touch, which is very light touch, and I'm going to demonstrate it on Kayleen because she's sitting right next to me. And so this little booklet, The Joyful Mind, is one of our booklets that we use in this joy coaching work. So if you are into doTERRA and you have been looking for a way to use your oils in a way that shares in a beautiful way, that shares information on emotional clearing, generational healing, etc., this might be the method for you. Okay, so we're going to start with this little chart. You know that in Aroma Touch, if you are in doTERRA or have been involved in doTERRA, and if you've learned the Aroma Touch technique, you can add the music to that. I have many women who say, I play your music in the Aroma Touch technique. Let's make sure I'm sharing my screen so that you can see. And this is another technique. And this technique I've actually been doing longer than there was a doTERRA, but this is the application of music and oils to 9 touch points where the body becomes like a musical instrument. Any of you have played the guitar or played the piano, this is like the body becomes like a keyboard, a musical keyboard. And these touch points become very important. The first touch point is at the pituitary gland. This is the master gland. This gland is in charge of sending messages to all the hormone-making glands in your body that it's very important that your hormones are creating those chemicals in your body. Then there's the pineal gland. Now, if you have studied Eastern work, you'll know that that's also considered to be the 7th chakra. But in the Western world, it's a gland. And so all of the glands that are considered to be chakras in the Eastern world, in the Western world, become your endocrine system. So this is the 7th chakra, the pituitary gland. The 6th chakra, or the pineal gland, westernized pineal gland. Then we have ears, which are not necessarily... Okay, we've got some background noise, so we hope that you can... We're recording this, so we would love to have a clear recording. The pineal gland, literally, and if I could show you my cell phone, it is literally a crystal. And it represents the eye. It even can close and open, so we can have our pineal gland opened or closed. And when we have it closed, it's really hard for us to sense far off, meaning that it's hard to create long-term goals. It's hard to visualize our outcomes. So the pineal gland is a very spiritual, awakening gland. We have our ears, and in our ears are all the auricular points. You can pull up a chart on Google to see all of these auricular points, which means emotional points. And so God in his divine economy has put all of these emotional points on the ears, just like he put all of the reflexology points on the hands and the feet. So you can actually do work on the hands and the feet to access different glands and body systems. Then we have the upper lip. And the upper lip is the place where we put the oil, obviously because we want the oils to travel up through the olfactory bulb into the amygdala to do emotional release work. As well, we have meridians that cross over, and these meridians are electrical. They're like electrical currents in our bodies that carry electrical currents in our bodies. And we have our thyroid gland, again, another gland right at the throat chakra, and the parathyroid gland on either side of the throat. This is another gland and another, this is considered to be the fifth chakra if you are working with Chinese medicine. Then we have the Chinese throat, the heart thymus chakra, which covers the lungs, the thymus, and the heart. Then we have our solar plexus, which is our navel, our umbilicus, which has 6,000 nerve endings. So when you want to put an oil someplace and have it speedily move through your body and get to where it's going, consider putting your oils in your belly button. Then we have the wrist points right here, 5 meridians on one side, 4 meridians cross over on the other side, and this is carrying the oils throughout your circulatory system, blessing your whole body with these divine intelligences. Then we scroll down and we follow on the circumference, the outside of the body, doing a feathering, whispering stroke down to the tops of the feet. And these are your lymphatic points. So when you put the oils on the tops of your feet, right where your toes bridge your foot, these are your lymph points. And the lymph is the rivers of life that flow through you. We also put it on the bottoms of the feet, which have 4,000 pores. Your feet have 4,000 pores or openings through which your oils can be carried through your circulatory system throughout your whole body. Now, when you add these up, each oil is placed on each of the 9 numbered touch points. There they are, 9 touch points, as each individual song is played. This addresses 40 points in the body, 12 chakras, 12 meridians, 9 body systems, 7 auric field layers for emotional clearing. Now, just like you can walk into a room and flip on a switch and the light goes on, you don't have to understand the electricity of this entire protocol. If you're a scientific mind and you want to, there's more education for that. But for those of you who just want to try this simple practice at home, you can order this kit that has the CD and this card and a chart of the oils so that you can practice this at home and do this with your oils on someone that you love and care about. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that you understand the 9 touch points. Now here we go to our oils. And it was funny today because digestion comes in one of these bottles too. And so here I thought it was peace because I didn't read the bottle. And so I was putting it under Amy's nose and saying, breathe in peace, breathe in peace. And the strong whiff of digestion was coming out of the bottle. I was like, hey, peace doesn't smell like it used to. And it was really digesting with the blue bottles. So this is peace. It's a different shade of blue. And this is console, which is purple. And then we have cheer, motivate, passion, and forgive. and my Motivate was so motivated that it ran off and it's doing something else for someone else right now and I can't find it. So Motivate is on its own. It's on its own quest right now and I got to find Motivate or reorder that one. Okay, so I use these in this process in a different order. I use console first and I work with my client and I say to them, is there something that you need to be consoled about now? And in this little booklet, you get to type into the space. And you can, this is an editable book. So you can actually type in for yourself, what is it that you need to be consoled about right now? And this is a beautiful journaling technique that you can start to breathe in. You can do this for yourself and go, what am I hurting? Where is it hurting in my heart? Why am I not feeling exuberant and lively? Why am I not feeling like Tigger? Why am I feeling like Eeyore? And so you can breathe in this oil and acknowledge and write in your journal. This little book becomes your journal. And you can write, what is it that I need to be consoled about? What is hurting? And you can pinpoint that painful thought. And then we go to the next one. Oh, by the way, you listen to the song, The Healer's Touch. And as you listen to the song, the first song on the CD, you apply this to your 9 touch points. So you would apply this to your pituitary gland as you're listening to the song over the pineal gland. You would put it under your nose. You would put it on your ears, because this is something you can do for yourself. Unlike Aroma Touch, you can't do Aroma Touch really for yourselves unless you do it on the bottoms of your feet or your hands. But this, you're putting the oils as you're listening to the first song, and you're putting it at the throat, over the thyroid, parathyroid, then applying console over your heart. And this is a beautiful way of self-nurturing. When do we think to nurture ourselves? And all the time you are listening to the song after you have pinpointed that thought that you want to be consoled about. So you put the oils on like that. You can do this for yourself. Next one I'm going to do for Kayleen. Then you move to forgive. Sometimes when there's something to be consoled, there's something we have to forgive ourselves for. And so the hardest person that I have found in my life to forgive is me. Because sometimes I have enabled others, or I have done things that I wish I wouldn't have, or that I learned later, well, that wasn't such a great choice. But I think we're all doing the best we can in the moment, but sometimes we still have to forgive ourselves when it doesn't turn out as happily as we thought it might. And so we apply the oil to the pituitary gland, over the pineal gland, and we're working through forgiveness of ourselves. And at the same time, we're listening to the next song on the CD called Magic Kisses. Oh, forgiving heart, and acknowledging the oil goes over the heart, and it goes at all 9 touch points, the auricular points at the throat, the thymus, the wrist, the belly button, and all the way down to the toes. After we acknowledge what we might have to forgive ourselves about, we can journal about that. And for those of you who like to journal, this is a really thorough process. And then we move on to the next one, which is still using the forgive oil. And the song is Magic Kisses, a song to mend the broken heart. And this is there someone else that I would like to forgive? As well as that person that I would like to feel forgiveness for now, so I can move on and release any feelings of anger or hurt or frustration or resentment or even revenge or anger. And those are common human emotions, and none of us is above or past feeling them. We all can feel like, I just like to see that person hurt the way they hurt me. And so we're releasing that. We're acknowledging that. We're expressing it. We're writing it out on paper, or we're telling our joy coach, which is what I did today. I had a session today, and Kayleen was my joy coach, and I knew it was time for a thorough cleanse of some emotions that had been left lodging in my mind and heart since a former marriage years ago. And it was time to release those. And so Kayleen listened to me as I expressed those lower vibration emotions. So this is something you can do with a joy coach. And Kayleen is the joy coach for your group. I'm also in Utah, so you can use me as well. And when Nikki is doing that session as well, you can go to Nikki for that, or you can become a joy coach as well if this feels like something you want to do. And it's much more involved than this, but this is a simple protocol you can do. Now, we've listened to 3 songs. We've applied 2 oils because forgive we're using for forgiveness of self, and we're using forgiveness for somebody else or some other group of people. Maybe someone we're doing business with, maybe someone in our own home and family, and maybe a sibling from years ago. Now we're going to listen to the song Sense of Peace. And we're going to breathe in that sense of peace. I love this one. It is smelling better to me. Every time I smell it, I absolutely love Sense of Peace. So we apply the oils again to the pituitary gland. We don't want any part of the body to be left out. We want every aspect, all those 9 touch points, to receive the application of the oil. And this may feel very simplistic because you're watching something. It is simple to do. It isn't even as complex as Aroma Touch. It's something you can do every morning for yourself. Putting it over your heart, putting at your wrist points. The women in ancient history applied oils, and they did it in a similitude of Christ and the nails being pierced through his wrists, and they applied the lifeblood of the plant as an acknowledgement of the gift of his atonement. So it was a very spiritual application. It wasn't until later that women started putting their perfume on their wrists so that they could smell pretty. So now we're going to listen to the song Sense of Peace. We're going to write a letter of acceptance and apology to ourselves or to the other person involved in this issue, remembering that by accessing our feelings and acknowledging and accepting them helps to bring peace. It's okay that we feel a lower vibration emotion. I don't even call them negative emotions because every emotion has a purpose. Anger has a purpose. Anger lets you know that maybe you have been being wronged. Maybe you have allowed others to walk on you. It's all important to get these emotions out, to express them and to honor them as you breathe them out of the body. Now we move to motivate. And we listen to the song, Sorrow into Song. And we identify an area of our life that we would like to feel more motivated. And it could be pertaining to this other area. I actually did this process for myself on weight loss. I put on 20 pounds, and when I first wrote this process, I had to forgive myself for eating haphazardly and just grabbing the nearest whatever instead of making mindful meals and choosing meals that made me feel good and better. And so my new motivation after I expressed my apology to myself, and I couldn't blame anybody else, so it wasn't anybody else's fault. I didn't have anybody else to forgive. And as I went to writing myself a note of acceptance for right where I was, even at 20 pounds heavier, now I was ready to receive motivation and to identify an area that I would like to feel more motivated in my life, identify what would assist me in turning this sorrow about letting myself go a little bit into song. What would encourage you now? And so I was able to write about that and use the Motivate oil after listening, as I listened to the song. After we start to pinpoint something that we can feel motivated about, it starts to cheer our souls. And so we use the oil cheer. And we listen to the song Childlike Faith and reconnect with the faith we had as a child. We identify ways that would assist us or our client in feeling cheered up and cheered on to the victory. For me, I had to celebrate every ounce I lost. I couldn't make a big, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. It was too much. It was too big of a step. I had to learn to take baby steps and celebrate this pound and fully embrace the loss of that pound, celebrate it, then move on to the next one. And so that cheered me up because I wasn't waiting to celebrate when I hit 10 pounds. I was cheered up because I was losing 1 pound at a time. And that cheered me on to the victory. So then we apply that cheer oil and we listen to that song. And our last oil is passion. And we listen to the song, Pure Love. Identify an area of your life for which you would like to reclaim passion. The will to succeed in a given area. Maybe it's the will to succeed. Now I feel like I can stand up and teach a class without feeling self-conscious or something. Whatever it was that I was feeling inhibited about or insecure about. The will to succeed. The will to love again. The will to live healthfully. The will to create. The will to fulfill your purpose, calling, and mission, whatever that may be. Just getting excited about life and using that passion oil and listening to the song Pure Love, and the words say, what does heaven look like to you? It's not far away or long ago. It feels like me. It feels like you. And the words to each of these songs are imagery-inducing lyrics, meaning that they paint pictures in your mind. So while you're breathing in the oil and you're listening to the song, images can more easily come up into your mind. They're peaceful. You can be relaxed. They take you into theta state. And you can actually feel the release work happen. And you can feel like you have shed emotional weight and burdens after you finish this session with you. So this is one way of using these emotional aromatherapy oils. And another beautiful way is to repeat this for a friend. And I actually, in my joy coaching sessions, I have many ways of using the oils. This is one of the protocols. So if you go to Kayleen, she's got a book full of protocols on how to take you on a journey where you can work through childhood issues, scarcity issues, any kind of issues, a relationship issue, a feeling of negativity about yourself, learning to love yourself again, getting excited about life again, getting a jump start on joy and feeling like, you know what? Not only do I want to be a customer of these essential oils and this music and receive the session, but after you've had these sessions, even while you're laying on the table, you're going to go, my sister needs a session. This is how I started doing Joy Coaching America for doTERRA Wellness Advocates, because I was doing it for my clientele personally in Utah and Pleasant Grove. Pretty soon people were coming in and saying, my sister in Texas needs this. My sister in North Carolina needs this. My sister in Texas needs this. And pretty soon we had joy coaches popping up all over the United States. And so I encourage you to think about a new and beautiful way to use the oils. I'm going to share with you that in ancient times, the people that used the oils first, the oils were given literally by God in Exodus to Moses in 2nd Exodus chapter 31. And in this passage of scripture, God tells Moses, I want you to go and make a blend for the sacred art of anointing. And there was a measurement called HIN, a hin of oil. I'd like you to use a hin of aloes, which in those days was another form of sandalwood, a hin of cypress, a hin of cinnamon, a hin of cassia, which in the Bible is called the oil of gladness. And there's a beautiful scripture in the New Testament. It says, for I, the Lord, have anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows, because thou hast loved righteousness and hateth iniquity. And so even in the Bible, these oils were being used, and there's over 500 scriptural references to oils like cypress and cedarwood and juniper and frankincense and myrrh and fir and jasmine and rose of Sharon and some others that I'm not thinking of right away, but maybe Kayleen, coriander. And so there's 12 oils of the Bible that we use in these sessions as well. But in those ancient times, the oils were used in the temples. And yes, we can stop share and go bigger here. The oils were used in the temples, and they were used to clean the tools in the temples, to clean the altars in the temples. And then when they found out that they could use these oils and burn them as incense, like frankincense and cedarwood and sandalwood, and that it actually opened up spiritual meditative responses in the physical body and the spiritual body, and that there were actual healings that occurred, they shared the oils with the doctors and the physicians. And so now they passed from the spiritual leaders and advisors to the doctors and physicians, and the next stop was the traders and the merchants. And because of the traders and the merchants, these oils were caravanned across the terrains in ancient years, 2,000 years before Christ was born, and that's how frankincense and myrrh came to be at the birth of baby Jesus. So I love studying the power and the influence of the spiritual aspects, the emotional aspects of these oils. And when you get into them and you start to learn and you go through the classes that we offer, you learn about the ancient art of anointing and all of these amazing ways. This Healer's Touch method is a modern day application, because in ancient times, mothers anointed their children, put oils on them, sang to them, and used these to bless their children. And now we have modern day application that is face up on a massage table if you're doing it for a loved one or a friend or a client, and a way that you can become certified in this if it's something that you want to do, and a way that you want to, a service to add to your doTERRA business, that you have a service to render and a product to sell. But honestly, I've been doing this since 2001, and I've done this for Natalie Goddard, for Laura Jacobs, for Kelly Anderson, for many of the leaders in doTERRA, and they have all loved their experiences, and it actually opened their hearts and minds to even consider doing a business with the oils, because they had their first experience with oils in a very gentle, nurturing, tender way. So I have many more PowerPoints and presentations that we can do again, Nikki, but this is our first just overview for this kit. You can enroll with this kit. You can enroll with the emotional aromatherapy kit. Like I said, the other one is concentrated oils in 5 milliliter bottles for 150 PV. And this one is a 100 PV in a 10 milliliter bottle, but it's diluted so that it's not as potent or as strong. So, Nikki, do you or anyone else on this call have any questions for us? And I can even unmute this. We can unmute all. Everybody's unmuted now. Nikki, do you have any questions?
So everybody here wants to know, can we hear some music?
We can really try. Let me see. I'm hoping that it will come through the... Unless we hook it up to that, and we could put my stereo. Should we hook it up to that?
I just think that because of the speakers on the computer, it's not going to sound amazing.
Okay, so we're going to try to do it this way. Okay. And while you're listening, if you can hear it, let us know. And then, Nikki, you can go around the room, and those women who are on the call by themselves can bring out their oils. And you can, Nikki, you can go and let them smell the oil, put the oil on their upper lip, over their forehead, if you'd like to.
We did.
Okay.
Okay. Just so you know, it's not going to be an amazing sound quality just because, you know, technology. So,
but when you hook it up to the Bose speaker, like we had women last night, they were saying, we love it loud. We want to hear it loud because it helps you really to focus on the lyrics that are inducing imageries in your brain at the same time.
That vibrates into your body, and it's amazing.
Let's do.
So this is Sense of Peace from the Healer's Heart TV. It's starting kind of quiet. Hold on.
Touch on your brow, angels comfort you now, bringing heart and mind sweet relief.
Can you hear that?
A stroke or caress, angel hands soothe and bless your soul with a sense of peace.
We use peace oil for this one.
Oh, know ye not that angels are here, coming to comfort you, soothe and cheer. I pray an angel's soft caress will touch your soul with happiness. Breathe long, breathe deep, my child, time for sleep. To new light brings your soul. Descending throughout, wash away fear and doubt. Your faith shall make you whole. Oh, know ye not that angels are here, coming to comfort you, soothe and cheer. Pray an angel's soft caress touch your soul. When you rise, sweet, refreshed, heart and mind shall be blessed. Without a care in this world, your burdens he's lifting, with peace angels gifting. Your cares are with them heavenward. Oh, know ye not that angels are near, coming to comfort you, soothe and cheer. Pray an angel's soft caress touch your soul. Oh, know ye not your Savior is near. His love will heal us. His love cast out fear. Praise His angels soft caress touch your soul. I tend your soul.
So there's much more to that. As we had the women on the table last night, I think every single one of them shed tears, just tender, soft tears, because there is just not enough nurturing of women. And the one man that was in the room, he said, I am in awe to watch these women give these nurturing sessions to each other. And he has a muscle testing academy down here. Carol Gutierrez brought him and invited him. And he has a muscle testing academy. He teaches muscle testing and classes at his academy. but he said he'd never seen anything more nurturing. A lot of times the women will harmonize and hum along if they feel like it. You didn't get to see a whole lot because we're sitting up. So there's cranial unwinding involved. There's other things going on in a session. But it is so nurturing and peaceful. Even to receive one song, 2 songs is amazing. And to have a whole session of it and to just have that gentle release. People have often commented that the neck aches, the back aches that they had, even with that soft, feathering, whispering stroke, that their neck aches, and it makes it a lot easier on a massage therapist, although you don't have to be a massage therapist to do this because it is an oil application, a simple 9-step oil application. So how were you able to hear the music? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to let you know that you do have the ability to go and look for Karen Grant on YouTube, and you can actually see a few more of the clips of her songs on there if you find her channel. That will be a much better sounding recording, so you can.
Lots better.
Yeah.
And then there's also www.thelullabymama, M-O-M-M-A, spelling the acronym for Mama, Music, Oils, Meditation, Massage, Aromatherapy. thelullabymama.com. You can go there, and that shows the 8 CDs. And when you click on a CD, there will be a video which talks about the need for nurturing our children and the importance and the value of that for young mothers and even grandmothers like myself. Not a young mother anymore, but I claim everybody else's kids. I would like to ask Kayleen to go over and ask Tessa, who is Kayleen's 8-year-old daughter, if Tessa would speak on this webinar. Tessa is our youngest doTERRA Joy Coach. And well, she can't join doTERRA till she's 18. She can be a Joy Coach at age 8. And so this is totally unrehearsed. We're just going to let Tessa tell the women on this call what she feels about Joy Coaching and how she's been involved in doing these sessions for her sister and her mother and other people, and what she feels about it, honestly, from the deepest part of your heart, Tessa.
What do you like about Joy Coaching?
Oh, well, it gives people who are hurt or in need of solace and need of help to be happy again a chance to be happy and a chance to remember that Heavenly Father loves you and that you're worthy of receiving love. And it gives you a chance to connect with new people.
How do you feel when I put oils on you at night at bedtime with Karen's music playing in the background?
Well, it always helps me fall asleep, and since I know Karen and I'm used to the sound of her voice, it makes me calm, so I'm able to fall asleep easier.
And how do you feel when you're giving a session like when you did one for me the other night? It made me cry because it was so sweet.
Well, I like it. I like it when other people are happy, and it makes me happy to know that they feel that they're loved and that they're happy.
It gives you an opportunity to express your love for people in such a sweet and perfect way. And you do it so beautifully. And the beautiful thing about this, ladies, is that children are natural nurturers. I've watched my own 4 children in their babyhoods and their early years. If they've seen me sad, they want to help me feel better. And it's important for our children to know that we have hurts and that we get our hearts broken too as women. And so as we teach our children this nurturing art of doing this for them at nighttime with the lullaby CDs, there's 8 lullaby CDs that you can use these oils. And I do suggest this kit for children because it is diluted and they aren't as potent. So when you're using this on your children, say you have 5 children that you have to tuck in every night, you can put a CD in every single one of their bedrooms and go around and spend 5 minutes with each child. What inspired all this work is that I had a nurturing mother. She tucked in her daughters every single night till we were 19. She would stroke our hair. She would whisper beautiful words. And I realized that not everybody got that kind of a mother, but I wanted to create something so that even women who did not grow up with that kind of nurturing could have it in their own homes and could experience it. So this is such a beautiful, heartfelt experience. If you want to go to our Healers Touch Client Testimonials Facebook page, Kayleen has actually put that page together, Healers Touch Client Testimonials. And you can go read the testimonials of Laura Jacobs and Natalie Goddard and Kelly Anderson and Matt Anderson and people that you may have heard their names, you may have rubbed shoulders with them, you may trust them. And so there's also testimonials from other people there as well. So if there's any more questions, we would love to answer them for you now. Anybody else?
If you want information on how to purchase CDs or to do any of the training, whether you just want to do this for your family and your loved ones, or whether you want to do the training to be a coach, you can get in touch with me or with Nikki or the person who invited you to this call, and we can get you that information. There are different packages, different pricing for each of the things, and Karen actually has, 64 CDs that some of them are vocal with the music, and some of them are musical meditation CDs. And she, as you can tell, is a huge wealth of knowledge about a lot of different things. And so we really have a lot, we have a lot that we can learn from Karen, and she has a lot of different, like I said, the modules. There's the Healer's Touch module, there's Divine Essence, there's the Lullaby Connection, the Ancient Legacy about the women in the scriptures, there's Heaven on Earth about chakras, there's the Joy in the Morning, which is just about helping people transition through grief. There's so much information, and all of that is available. And so if you want more information about that, let us know, and we can definitely get that to you.
It's basically the Joy Coaching University. You can even get to the website doing Joy Coaching University. We want to give a gratuity to the women that have organized this call. So if you do want to do something, we'll have a special for you so that you can have the CD, the tear pad or a tear sheet, the body chart, so that you can just start to learn how to do this with your own homes and families.
Thank you. Thanks for doing that. So yeah, just get in touch with the person that invited you to this call, and then we can get you the information on that. And trying to think if there's anything else. Nikki, did you have anything else?
No, I don't. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you all so much for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. It was a joy to be with you, and we wish you all the best in everything that you do.